Hey everybody, Eric from LiveAquaria. Today we're in the studio with Tim and Adrian from RK2 Systems. I want to say hello and welcome to LiveAquaria.
Thanks guys. Pleasure to be here.
Well, we're happy to have you. So for those at home who are not familiar with RK2 Systems, why don't you give us a little history and a little background on RK2?
Certainly, yeah. RK2 got our start in about 1991. Chris and Robert Krechter were the two brothers that created the vision of creating commercial life support for holding systems, wholesale import facilities, and the residential hobby industry. We started with protein skimmers and fluidized bed filters. We'll see a little bit of that here while we are walking around today. From that point, back in '91, we've expanded our product line through the years. We do UV sterilization, we do ozone equipment, we do pumps, a little bit of everything these days to create a complete system available for the institution market and home hobbyists alike.
Yeah, it's great. You guys you service and put your applications into aquaculture. You do public aquariums. Is there anything else?
Yeah, we do a lot with stranding rehab facilities, sea turtles, sea lions, seals. We do quite a bit within live seafood holding as well. Oyster producers, shellfish, do a little bit besides finfish with our equipment as well.
Okay, having said all that, we're going to give you a tour. We'll show you a little eye candy, and we're going to give you a glimpse as to how we use RK2 Systems here at LiveAquaria. So as I mentioned previously, we are in the photo studio. Some of these tanks we have set up we use for videos. Sometimes we use for quarantining fish. This is a nice group of Ventralis anthias that we've had for a little while now. I think they are sadly all spoken for, but we are working on getting another group of those in. So these are beautiful fish. They're cold water. We bring them in, we acclimate them, and we keep them at about 74 degrees. And we slowly over time will intensify the lighting system. And we feed them a blend of mysis, brine shrimp, calanus, and we'll fortify that with either Vitachem or Celcon. Right behind Adrian, we've got a nice mixed reef tank. And what I love about this tank, it's simple. It's just got lights, it's got filtration in the back. We have no skimmers, no offense, Tim and Adrian, but it's very simple, and you can get away with that with soft corals. And we've got some beautiful wrasses in there. And then in here, it's a little 26-gallon. This is a nice little cobalt tank, and we've got a couple little Grama de Zhongai. These are captive bred from Biota, and we've sold quite a few already. It looks like we've just got one out at the moment. So let's go ahead. We're going to take a stroll through the facility. Follow me. All right, so here we are at our show tank. This is our 300-gallon SPS dominant show tank. What we love about this tank is many of you may have already seen we have our aberrant yellow tang in here. It's a pretty popular fish. We've had this fish for about 2 years now. And it was probably about the size of a 50-cent piece when we got it. We've got all sorts of SPS corals in there, many wrasses. We've got some Barbonius amphius. And I was talking about Tim and Adrian, and they are actually they're avid fish and reef keepers, correct, gentlemen?
Yes, sir.
Absolutely. All right. It's a pleasure. Well, we'll see if Tim goes home with any fish. I know he was eyeing up a few divers then.
Just a few.
So we just had to show you that before we walk back and show you some of the systems we have here. Along the way, we have 3 raceways of coral bats here, and when we get to the end of this, we're going to show you all the filtration that is done by the RK2 Systems. These are getting ready to be shot for Divers Den. So every day they bring corals in, they set them up, they stage them, they photograph them, then they move them out, and then they bring corals in for the next day. So they are responsible for a lot of images and uploading new images to the site daily. So again, we've got a bunch of nice pieces in here. We've got a lot of acrid coral, we've got some soft coral. This is that we're stopping off and talking about. So in here, not only do we have a beautiful pair of interrupted angels, we've got some captive bred Biota yellow tangs, and I believe these might be F2s. I know this is, we've had quite a few batches, and we've had a lot of success with them. You can find these on the website. They're on Divers Den. I believe they retail for about $99. So let's head on back. We're going to go to the QT area. we got a little eye candy in here. We've got some pairs of flame wrasses. We've got a lot of juvenile harlequin tusk wrasses. Got a copper band butterfly in there. So again, we're in the QT area now. And John will be expecting a ton of fish tomorrow. There's not a whole lot of fishing right now, so they've been moved out to the main system. So all of our systems are independent, whether it's freshwater, whether it's QT, or the main system. So they're independent, they're closed systems. And I'm going to let Adrian and Tim step in here, and they can give you the specs on some of the pumps, the skimmer size, ozone, all that good stuff.
Again, keeping in mind that we've got about a 3 to 3,500 gallon system, we're going to have larger scale equipment to handle the workload. With every system, you need some means of mechanical filtration, biofiltration. We got our pressurized bag filters that we're using. Bags can range in size from 50 microns down to very fine 1 micron, depending upon individual applications. I believe we're running at about 25 micron capture rate here on our bags inside these filters. So that basically handles the mechanical filtration, pulling out the uneaten food and some of the larger particles that we're going to run into the system. We also use our fluidized sand bed filter. Fluidized sand is 2 to 4 millimeter silica sand that we've got inside this filter. All of that sand is surface area for our beneficial bacteria to colonize, to basically grow on the surfaces of that sand. And that simply breaks down all of our ammonia, converting our ammonia to nitrite. And then we have our nitrite converting down to nitrate. So it's a nice means of tan removal, or total ammonia and nitrogen from the system. All of this water, as it passes and upwells through the fluidized sand bed filter, comes into the inlet of the protein fractionator, or protein skimmer, or foam fractionator. You can call it any one of the three, and that'll qualify. The units that we manufacture at RK2 are Venturi driven, and they are countercurrent skimmers. Countercurrent design basically means you've got your dirty water coming into the top of the reaction chamber, coming in, and then if we come around here over where the Venturi pump in the air intake assembly is located, we have our Venturi pump down low. We're pulling our dirty water that we showed coming in at top up the high point inside the gray tank, basically works its way and falls down to the lower portion of the reaction chamber, because our discharge assembly right here, so all the water's leaving at this point. We're introducing our air through an air intake assembly. So this pump is a dedicated closed loop pump. We're bringing water up to the high point, down through, and we have a Venturi injection manifold system. So this pump is basically, through this Venturi, drawing air, atmosphere, into the reaction chamber, our dry reaction chamber. So we're creating a dense foam bath with bubbles inside. Those bubbles are perfect at surface area for amino acids, soluble organic materials. We actually achieve such a dense field of bubbles in here, we can capture up to about a 30 micron particle size through the bubbles. Air is lighter than water. So we have our water traveling down to our discharge point. Air is going to be lighter and fast and travel up to the top of the reaction chamber. So where our bubbles, as the foam travels up, the interstitial areas, or the water is located in between the bubbles, starts to separate. The water starts to separate out. We start to get a drier product as we capture this skimming in the collection cup here. You'll notice that the bubbles will travel up the cone into the riser tube, and then that foam will expel into the outer collection cup area. So the key is to try and get this situated to where you have almost the consistency of like a weak tea skimming. You don't want it to be too dry, because if it gets too dry, it hangs up in the collection cup and the cone riser assembly. So a nice wet skim needs coloration, and that goes for any manufacturer's protein skimmer. That's just efficient to the process. Along with the fractionation, we use ozone. So we have atmosphere being pulled in, but we also have ozone. Ozone is good for two reasons within our application here. Ozone, it's an oxidizer, so we do get a degree of bacterial control with the ozone within the system. We'll oxidize simpler waterborne bacteria out of the water column. And actually, the main reason we're using it within our application is to help flocculate. So it enhances the process of fractionation or protein skimming. It's a great one-two punch. So we get some pathogen control or bacterial control, and we enhance the flocculation process. Ozone, for those of you that aren't familiar with it within reef keeping at home, is a great enhancer of water color and clarity. So if you're using ozone on your system, you will notice a better tint or hue to your water column, and you'll also see an increase in clarity, which will segue into our UV sterilization. UV sterilization is your main means of biosecurity or pathogen control within the systems here at LiveAquaria. Protozoan, cryptocarin, amyloididium, pathogens of that nature, we're treating with UV. So we're basically taking UVC on each of these lamps that sits inside this array, and we're subjecting these microorganisms to a period of light. So the UVC is being projected by the lamps. The pathogens are being exposed to that UV light being produced. UVC specifically burns through the cell walls of these microorganisms and destroys or disrupts their RNA, or their ability to reproduce. So while we may not necessarily be killing these microorganisms, we're rendering their ability to reproduce null and void.
Denature, right?
That's right.
So how many watts do we have there, Adrian?
This particular unit that we're dealing with here is a 910 watt UV. It's a series of 130 watt lamps. Again, we're achieving a high dose and a high flow from the system that we're running here. Again, we want these fish to be coming to you guys to your homes nice and clean and pathogen free. And I think we're doing a pretty good job of it here within the system.
Well, what's great about RK2 Systems, I mean, we've had these systems in the facility from the get-go since 2005. Once in a while, we might have to replace a pump or a bulb, but yeah, the bodies stand to help the test of time.
The important thing the important thing to keep in mind with any component that you have, whether it's a home aquarium, whether it's an institution or a facility with large-scale equipment, there's always going to be a degree of maintenance involved with the equipment that you have on your system. Understand your maintenance schedules, adhere to your maintenance schedules, and 9 times out of 10, your equipment's going to treat you well, and your fish, your coral, and your inverts are going to thank you for it in the long run.
And learn how to work with PVC. All right. Well, let's move on. So we are in the main fish system. So after the fish come out of QT, they're in there anywhere from 2 weeks to 2 months. Once they're healthy, we know they're eating well, we bring them into the main system, and here they will reside for a while until we decide we can shoot them for Diver's Den. So while we're in here, I'm going to show you some of my favorites. We've got a nice white spot puffer. And then here we feed our puffers everything from krill. We give them clam on a half shell because we want to keep that beak worn down. Got a nice little dog face down here. You guys know me, you know I love my puffers, fresh and saltwater. Got a nice clown trigger in there. What do you see in there, Adrian?
I'm a big fan of annulars myself.
Nice big annulars angel in there. Yeah. There he is. Here, we might have some frogfish down here. Got a nice little wart skin. And a cool red giant angler back there. So these guys will be coming to Diver's Den soon, maybe in a couple weeks. Got a big golden puffer, nice Achilles tang. And here's what's doing the filtration from the raceways we were looking at earlier. I'm going to stand back, give them a good shot in.
Yep.
Whoever wants to.
So what we got here, these guys here, they're the sumps. They've got bag filtration here. Just unscrew these, pull the bag filter out, clean it, replace it, put it back in, got your lid. These sumps we made entirely enclosed to help with evaporation, no open top whatsoever. Water from the raceway comes here. You got the bag filters for mechanical, so that's taking out your large particles of food, fish waste, it's not dissolved, anything gets trapped here. From here, we're going into the protein skimmer to remove all the dissolved organics, your fish waste, fish food. These are our RK50 models, and this is the size to handle about 3,000 gallons of water on a 1 hour exchange rate, or 100% exchange an hour. Just like the other one we looked at earlier, it's coupled with a 1 gram or 1,000 milligram ozone generator. And then we've got all of our pumps down here that feed the protein skimmer. They drive the injector for the protein skimmer itself. And then we've got a main system pump here that's recirculating water back to the raceways. And we've got 3 raceways out there. Each raceway has its own independent filtration system. That's about it right here.
Thanks everybody for joining us. I want to extend a special thank you to Adrian, sir, and to Tim. We really appreciate you guys coming out here. It was great having you here. It was nice to have somebody give a tour that could speak better to it than I could. So again, thank you so much.
It's been a pleasure being out here for the day. We've been out here often, and it's certainly been worth it for us to be here. We can't thank you guys enough for trusting us in the last 15 years to keep water quality where it is, fish, coral, and everything that we got going out the door to our customer base happy.
Absolutely.
If you want to learn more about our products or anything you saw here today, you can check us out on www.rk2.com, Facebook, RK2 Systems, and X-Flow Systems, and we're also on Instagram at RK2 Systems Inc.